All right, let's dive into March Madness. You ready to fill out those brackets?
Oh, yeah. Always a fun time of year.
We're talking both men's and women's tournaments today.
Absolutely. Going to be some great games.
So let's get you ready for some upsets, some buzzer beaters.
Yeah, and maybe a Cinderella story or two.
Gotta love those. Okay, so the men's bracket is out.
I saw it. Some interesting matchups right off the bat.
Definitely. And I'm already seeing some potential upsets brewing in those first four games,
Play-in games. Yeah.
Exactly. That 11 seed matchup in the South region is catching my eye. Dayton versus Providence.
Oh, interesting. Dayton's got the home court advantage there in Ohio.
Right, and historically, 11 seeds in the first four playing at home, well, they've won over 60% of the time.
Wow, really? That's pretty significant.
Yeah, it's definitely a stat worth considering.
No doubt. Home court can be huge in those early rounds, all that pressure.
For sure, but here's the thing about Providence. They've got this guard, Jared Bynum,
Oh, yeah. He's good.
averaging over 15 points a game, 5 assists.
He can really control the tempo of a game.
Yeah, he can take over if he needs to.
I think he'll be key for them if they want to pull off the upset.
It's funny you mentioned him, Bynum, I mean. I was watching him in the Big East tournament last year.
Oh,
yeah. And he just took over a couple of those games.
Yeah.
So Dayton has home court, but
But I wouldn't count Providence out.
not at all.
Period.
And that's what makes those early round games so unpredictable.
Absolutely. Anything can happen.
Right. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Big picture. The projected #1 seeds, what do you think?
Well, UConn in the East, they've been dominant all season long.
Oh, yeah. They just reload every year. But, speaking of dominance, Houston in the South,
They've impressed me too. Their defense is just suffocating.
yeah, they lead the nation in points allowed.
And they're so well coached.
It's interesting you say that because I was looking at their schedule, and I don't know,
What's up?
they haven't really played anybody, have they? I mean, you like them, I get it, but do you think they could get exposed?
Expose how?
I don't know, against a team with more offensive firepower in the later rounds.
That's a fair point. Their strength of schedule is something to keep in mind.
Right. Like Kansas in the Midwest, if they stay healthy.
They can put up points in a hurry.
Yeah, they have the talent.
But, defense travels, especially in a single elimination tournament like this, that ability to lock down.
Can be a difference maker.
For sure.
All right, fair enough. And out west, we've got Gonzaga. They've become a March Madness staple at this point.
Oh, yeah. They're always there.
Seems like they always have a good mix of veteran players and some exciting young talent.
Yeah, this year they've got this freshman, Jeremy Evans. He's incredible to watch.
Highlight reel.
Definitely. But they also have that veteran leadership with Drew Timey. He knows what it takes to win in March.
Yeah, experience is key in this tournament. Now, I know you've got Gonzaga locked in as a 1 seed, but what about Arizona?
Arizona.
Yeah, they've had a really tough Pac-12 schedule this year, some impressive wins. Could they snag a top seed?
I think it's a long shot. Their schedule's been tough, but their advanced stats aren't as impressive.
Leading.
Like, offensively, their efficiency isn't quite there compared to some of the other contenders.
Oh, I see. And the selection committee, they look at that stuff?
Yeah, they do. I just don't think Arizona quite measures up there.
Okay, so a team to watch, but maybe not a 1 seed.
Probably not.
Okay, now let's get to the fun part. Cinderella stories.
Gotta love them. Everyone loves a good Cinderella run.
Double-digit seeds coming out of nowhere, busting everyone's brackets. Where do you see the potential for upsets this year?
Let's see. I think the Midwest region is one to watch. A 12 seed, like Murray State, maybe?
Oh, interesting. Or a team from the West Coast Conference like St. Mary's.
Yeah, St. Mary's is always tough.
What makes those teams so dangerous? Fill me in.
Well, these mid-major programs, they play with a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove something.
Right, they're always the underdog.
Exactly. And they're usually known for their shooting, three-pointers especially. Murray State, for example, they led their conference in three-point percentage.
Oh, wow, so they can get hot.
And St. Mary's always seems to have a couple of guys who can just light it up from outside. They might not have the same level of talent as the top seeds, but they can definitely shoot the lights out. And if they get hot at the right time...
Next scout.
Exactly.
I like it. I'm putting them on my watch list for sure. I always kind of root for those 13 seeds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's the underdog thing. Teams like Iona from the outside.
Yeah.
They've had some big upsets in the past. Give them a strong coach, a hot shooting guard, and a little luck, and who knows?
Yeah, those 13 seeds, they can be dangerous if you underestimate them.
Absolutely. All right, so we've talked about some potential upsets in the men's bracket. Now let's move over to the women's tournament.
Okay, should be fun.
Selection Sunday is tomorrow. Can't wait to see how that bracket shapes up.
Me too.
A lot of talent in the women's game this year. Absolutely. The women's game is just so exciting right now. and the talent pool is it's deeper than ever.
It really is.
So what are you expecting? Top contenders, potential surprises.
Well, I think you have to start with South Carolina. You can't talk about the women's tournament without mentioning them.
Right. Coach Dawn Staley, they've built a dynasty down there.
Yeah, they're the clear favorites coming into this year.
So what makes them so dominant? They're always tough, but what sets them apart?
Well, they're just so complete, you know? Their defense is stifling. They lead the nation in blocks, rebounds. You can't get anything going inside against them.
Oh, yeah, they just shut you down.
And offensively, they're balanced, they're efficient, multiple players who can score in double figures. They share the ball well. It's just
A nightmare to play against.
yeah, pretty much.
I can see why you're picking them to win it all. So who else? Who could challenge South Carolina? Who else is in that conversation?
I think Iowa could make a deep run. They've got a high-powered offense. Even though Caitlin Clark graduated, they've still got some talent to replace her.
Yeah, she was a special player, that's for sure. I wonder how they'll adjust without her.
They might not have the same defensive intensity as South Carolina, but if they get hot from three-point range...
They can beat anyone.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see how they do. And you can't forget about UConn.
Oh, of course not. Always a threat.
With Paige Buecher's potentially coming back for her final season.
Yeah, if she's healthy, that changes things.
Big time.
She's a game changer. Elite scorer, great passer, a leader on the court, if she's at her best.
UConn's right there in the mix.
Definitely.
Okay, so contenders. We've talked about a few. It's time for Final Four predictions. Who do you have making it to Dallas?
Ooh. Okay, let's see. I'm going with South Carolina, Iowa, UConn, and then Southern Cal.
Southern Cal.
Interesting. Yeah, they've got this phenomenal young player, Juju Watkins. She's already one of the best in the country. I think she can lead them on a run.
Okay, I like those picks. I'm going to go with South Carolina, UConn, Stanford, and Texas.
Stanford, yeah, always tough. And Texas has a lot of talent.
It's going to be a fun tournament, that's for sure. So many good teams.
I can't wait.
All right, so practical stuff. When are the games?
Men's first 4 games start Tuesday, March 18th, Wednesday the 19th too. Then the round of 64 starts Thursday the 20th.
And for the women?
First 4 will probably be Wednesday and Thursday. Main bracket starts Friday, March 21st.
Okay, so everyone check your local listings for game times. CBS, ESPN, True TV.
And if you're streaming, March Madness Live app.
That's the one.
All the games right there.
Perfect. Okay, before we wrap up, let's have some fun. Bold predictions time. Who's your Final Four and who's cutting down the nets? Men's first.
All right. For the men, my Final Four is UConn, Kansas, Houston, and then a Cinderella team. I'm going with a 10 seed, Loyola, Chicago.
Oh, I love it. Sister Jean, back for another run.
They've got that March Madness magic. And for the champion, I think UConn repeats. They've got the talent and the experience.
I can see that. All right, my turn. I'm going with Duke, Arizona, UConn, and Gonzaga. And the champion, Duke. One last miracle run for Coach K.
Wow, that would be something else. A storybook ending.
Right. Now for the women, I'm sticking with my earlier picks. South Carolina, Iowa, UConn, Southern Cal, and I think South Carolina wins it all.
Yeah, I agree with you on South Carolina. They're just too good. But it'd be fun to see one of those other teams make a run.
Absolutely. Yeah. March Madness, anything can happen. That's what makes it so great.
The upsets, the buzzer beaters, the Cinderella stories.
We can't wait to see how it all unfolds. It's going to be epic.
Okay.
So many great storylines.
Some unforgettable moments for sure.
All right, everyone. Print out your brackets. Get your friends together. Trash talk is officially allowed.
It's March.
Now, as you're filling out your brackets, we want you to think about more than just the favorites.
Yeah, those top seeds, they don't always win.
Remember those Cinderella teams we talked about? The ones who could bust your bracket wide open.
Dayton, Providence, Murray State, St. Mary's, Iona.
It's not just about picking the big names, you know? It's about finding those hidden gems.
The teams that make March Madness so exciting.
So unpredictable. Think about the stories behind these teams. Which one resonates with you? Who has the most compelling path to upset a top seed?
Yeah, who do you believe in?
Is it Dayton playing in front of their home crowd? Providence, with Jared Bynum leading the way?
Or one of those mid-major programs, hungry to prove themselves?
That's the question we want you to think about as we wrap up this deep dive. Who is your Cinderella pick? Who do you think has that extra something special?
That can take them all the way.
Soak it all in, enjoy the madness, and may your brackets be ever in your favor.
Good luck, everyone.
And remember, this is just the beginning. The real fun starts when the games tip off.
And we'll be here all tournament long, breaking down the action, keeping you informed.
Can't wait to see how it all plays out. Get ready for some surprises, some upsets, some unforgettable moments. It's March Madness. Anything is possible. Dreams can come true.
The beauty of it, right?
It is. It really is. And we want you to embrace that. Don't be afraid to go out on a limb. Pick that team that everyone else is overlooking.
You might just be the one with bragging rights at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So enjoy the madness, everyone. Fill out those brackets.
Get those watch parties going.
And get ready for some incredible basketball.
It's going to be a wild ride.
That's for sure. We'll be back soon to break down even more of the action. Until then.
Stay tuned and enjoy the games.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into March Madness.